Hey guys, what is up? Welcome to episode 63 of Coffee Talk with Hazel. As always, well, not always, but as most of the time, I do have coffee. So, I did realize the other day that I was wrong. It was not episode 67. It was only episode 62. So, this would make 63. I know I am doing this video kind of early, but, you know, I've got other shit I gotta do today, and that sounds fucked up, but it's life, right? Don't mind this little part over here. So, as always, you know, thank you to everybody who continues to support me and these videos and everything else. It definitely means a lot to me. I even appreciate the little snitches who watch these and goes and runs and tells certain people. I think it's adorable that you guys think I'm so stupid, and I can pretty much pinpoint who the snitches are. So, I mean, whatever. Everything I say in my videos is the truth, and my truth, at least. And if you guys have a problem with that, don't watch them. If you don't like what I have to say, don't watch them. These are my videos. These are ways for me to express myself, aside from just writing. You know, not everybody likes to read, and not everybody knows or has the resources to access my website or the funds to buy my book, which, to be honest, after rereading it, I totally fucked that up. But I promise my second book will be much better. So, you know, you live and learn. The first book that I wrote and it got published, it at least got published. I accomplished my lifelong goal, dream, and it got published. So, yay. And, you know, just like with some of the people that read my book and didn't like what I had to say, oh well. I've said it before, I've been saying it for many, many years, and I'll continue to say it. Everybody only knows what happened from what I've told them and from what they've seen. And, of course, in the eyes of other people, or not the eyes, in the presence of other people, especially family members, there's going to be a show that gets put on. It's going to be, oh yeah, you know, we're going to pretend that we're so happy because we don't want to hear the comments that everybody wants to make. Because, let's face it, people are really, really good at that. So, you know, a show gets put on, and that's that. So, I think it's adorable that you guys, and you know who you are, want to put the blame on me because I took things too literal or too personal and everything else. But you know what? I don't care anymore. I don't. And I know not everyone who did that shit and probably still does. I know they don't watch these, but I know the ones that do watch these, so grow the fuck up. Seriously. It doesn't matter anymore. What's done is done. It's done and over with, and there is no point in going and crying and whining and bitching and complaining and being a snitch because it's not gonna help anybody's case at all, except maybe mine. And at this point, I'm totally okay with that. Which, speaking on that note, I'm okay with that because what I want to talk about today, which I know I've probably talked about before a lot, is that letting shit go and moving on with your life. We all want to do it, but we all don't want to make the sacrifices or the necessary steps in order to achieve that. And I can admit, unlike most people, I can admit that I have had a lot of trouble moving on. And I don't want to be that way anymore. I don't want to continue on with my life feeling the way that I do about certain things. And part of letting go and moving on is just accepting shit. And let's face it, that's not easy. And also, unlike some people, I can at least admit that, I was burned really bad. And I don't mean literally. I mean emotionally, spiritually, mentally. I broke my own rule. Of course, I was only 18, but I broke my own rule and I gave in to this guy who I thought I would spend the rest of my life with. Because he spent so much time convincing me that, we'd have happily ever after and that he'd never do any of the shit that he ended up fucking doing. But, as I've said before, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I know I made a lot of mistakes. I know that, I'm not the easiest person to handle. But I'm 85% sure that anybody that you talk to who knows me will tell you that I am the easiest person to get along with. And if I don't like you, I'm going to tell you straight up. I don't like you. I'm not going to sit there and pretend. So, whatever. But, I gave in to this person and I spent 8 years. 8 years. Almost 8 years. But still, that's a long time to spend with a person. And I have to give people credit who stay together for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Whatever. But, I broke my rule and I gave in, and then I tried to do the right thing because we had Andrew, and then I gave in again and agreed to marry him, which, as I always say, I have no regrets. I have none whatsoever. He may be the biggest fucking douchebag I've ever met, but I got 2 beautiful kids from that seriously fucked up situation. So, with the bad, with the dark, there's always good and light. And as I've said before, God's plan is bigger than any of us. And it's better than anything anybody could ever plan for themselves. And, what's not meant to be is just not meant to be. And my point is, I became the person that I had spent so many years not being. I became the girly girl. The depending on a boy, a guy. Because I depend on Andrew, but that's my son. It's different. But I became everything that I worked so hard not to become. And I ended up becoming that person anyway. Or that type of girl. You know, I started to be more girly because I thought that's what he wanted. I started to wear makeup more because he told me I was prettier with makeup than without. You know, I started to wear heels because he always complained that I was too short. You know, I went on so many diets to try to lose weight, but being on birth control, as I'm sure the women who watch these, know that being on birth control, and it doesn't matter how much you diet, it don't matter how much you work out, it's not easy. You know, maybe it's easy for, you know, the skinny girls who weigh 20 pounds, but, you know, for us bigger women who have actual childbearing hips, it's not easy. But, you know, and there isn't a person, and I've said this before, I know I have, but there isn't a person around in my family or his that can say that I did not give him everything that he wanted, whenever he wanted it. There may have been times that I wasn't able to do it right then and there, but I still, whatever it was, he still got it. I mean, hell, after he finally admitted to cheating on me the first time, I was still willing to work on the marriage and forgive him for it, you know? And basically, I guess like most women, I guess, I lost myself in trying to be the person I thought would make him happy. And ever since he walked out on us, you know, I've lost myself even more because I became so accustomed to being who he wanted or who I thought he wanted, and being his wife and a mother, that I completely lost touch of who I was or am. I don't know how you want to put that. And because I did so much for this man, he's not a man, I don't care what anybody says, because a man would not treat his kids the way that he does. I don't give a fuck how he wants to treat me, but so anyways, after all that shit and after douchebag left, I closed myself off, and I've been closed ever since. And I'm tired of being closed off because I have a seriously incredible man in my life who loves my kids and loves me, and you know, we got this little guy coming next month, you know, and he does what a man does, and it doesn't matter how tired he is, it doesn't matter if he's sick, every day he goes to work. Every day. You know, and he pushes through, and it's not fair to him that I don't, or that I haven't opened myself up to him the way that I should. Because even though we've agreed to never get married, because neither one of us wants to go through that shit again, we have agreed to spend the rest of our lives together, and we don't need some stupid ass little paper saying so. And as far as we're both concerned, we're married in God's eyes, and that's all that matters. And you know, I may not be good at it, but I love to sing. And I don't sing anymore. And a couple weekends ago, we were hanging out with our friends that we live with, and you know, they kept trying so hard to find songs that would make me cave so I'd start singing. And you know, back in the day, I didn't care who was around, I didn't care who heard me. And you know, and I stopped writing poetry. I mean, last year I wrote a few poems, but I didn't give up on writing. I didn't stop writing. I did burn everything that I ever wrote during the time I was with my ex, but you know, it is what it is. My point, I think, that I'm trying to make is it's time to just let go. Because just because no matter how hard I tried, no matter how much effort I made, just because I wasn't good enough for him doesn't mean I'm not good enough for the man I have now. And he tells me that I'm enough, that I'm more than enough. And you know, we may not like the same things. Like, I love Legos and Lego characters and the Lego movie, which everybody already knows. You know, and that's not really his thing, and that's fine. But you know, it just feels right when we're together. It's easy. You know, I mean, of course, as in any relationship, effort needs to be made, and of course there is effort, but it's not like a constant effort that by the end of the day you just feel so exhausted because you're trying to convince the other person that you love them so much, or you know, you'll never leave them, or anything else like that. And you know, it's, dare I say, and be girly about it, it just feels right. And like I said, it's not fair to him that I don't give in to the instincts that I feel. You know, that I don't act or do the lovey-dovey girly shit that most girls are doing or would do or should do. But you know, I'm not really into the whole lovey-dovey shit anyway. Like, I have my moments, you know, and we all know that stupid wannabe holiday is coming up next week. I don't care for that shit. I'm sorry, I think it's stupid. I do. It's a waste of money. I don't think that there should only be one day a year that you show somebody how much you love and care about them. It's a pathetic excuse for a holiday, and it's a pathetic ass excuse for a day for guys and girls to express their love to the person they're with. Especially teenagers. Like, or not even just teenagers, but kids, you know? Like, oh, I love him so much. You are 9 years old. You are not going to be with this person forever. Then again, they might be. My best friend, Amanda, and her husband, they met in kindergarten, and they stayed together until the unfortunate day that happened. But, you know, it's a stupid holiday. It's not even a holiday. And one of my race cars left the track. Because my train of thoughts, it's no longer a train. They just got to be too long and too big that eventually it just built itself into a NASCAR racetrack, and at least 1 million cars are racing and one just left. But anyways, I'm not really sure how long my phone is going to record. But my point is, you know, this is a new year, and it's time, seriously time for changes and new beginnings and new everything. You know, it's time. And it's time that I start practicing what I preach. And I can only hope that, I shouldn't say that, because I am who I am. And whether it's the closed off me or the open, wild, and free, I know that the real people in my life are going to still be there. You know, like the friends we live with. No matter our differences, no matter how many people tried to break up our friendship, no matter how many years we went without talking, she's been here, and vice versa. So, and if my man hasn't left me by now, because I know, I get stupid, I get crazy, I don't get physical anymore, as in violent, and by anymore, I mean, those who know me already know that my ex and I had some physical disagreements, but anyways, I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm perfectly fine with Jeremy and my kids, and Adrian and her husband and her kids, and little Logan here, who's going to be here in 6 weeks. I'm perfectly fine with us being a family. You know, it's definitely a better support system, minus my grandma, a better support system than I've ever had. And, you know, it's never one-sided, it's never biased, and I feel we all work well together. You know, the kids, of course, sometimes have their disagreements, especially with Andrew being the only boy, but I think and I feel that it works, and it's nice to not be pressured or made to feel like shit because of how long it's taking for me to get back on my feet, or, you know, Jeremy doesn't have a real job, all that shit. Because he does. He has a real job. And last week he was hired on permanently. And you know what? He deserves that shit. And so much more. He's worked his ass off. And I am lucky and I am proud. And I am so grateful that he's mine. And that he's willing to be the man he wants to be. Not somebody who he thinks I'm trying to change him into. But he's being the man that he wants to be. And who could ask for more than that? I know I'm not going to. I'm not going to be the person that I've been. I'm not going to be scared. I'm not going to be closed off. And I'm going to be the woman that he deserves. And I like to think that I'm doing a pretty damn good job with my kids. Toot toot. I'll toot my own horn to that. Because I know single moms who, or not even just single moms, but I know some people. And I'm not saying I'm better than them, or that I do a better job than them. But I see the way that they treat their kids, or don't spend time with them, or don't talk to them, and all that other shit. And that's not me. My kids saved my life, and I will always be there for them. But I will continue to be the mom that they deserve, or as Emma started calling me, mother. I'm like, child, you're only 5 years old. You should not be calling me mother. The time has definitely flown by. You know, Andrew's gonna be 9. Emma's gonna be 6. We're gonna have Logan. And I'd be lying if I said I wasn't scared. Not to have another baby, but I don't want him to be disappointed in any way, shape, or form, like unfortunately Andrew and Emma have been. But you know, being scared is part of life, and I know with the support that I have that it's gonna be okay. And I know that even if, I'm not saying it won't, but even if things don't work out with me and Jeremy, I already know that he's not gonna do to his kids what my ex has done to ours. But it's still scary. And I'm sure anybody who's gone through a divorce and has kids and the other parent isn't around, and then they meet somebody new and they have more kids, I'm sure you guys understand. So, sorry for the almost tears. I cannot help the emotional state anymore. I basically cry at like the drop of a hat, at least the last 3 days. So, no more crying. Unless they're happy tears. So, Saturday, I'm excited because the Odyssey Aquarium, desert, whatever, is apparently having a Lego movie night. There's going to be characters that you can meet and take pictures with and do games and shit. So we're going to take the kids. I think I'm more excited than they are, but you know, I'm excited. You know, of course I have to take care of an important thing Saturday morning. I'm not going to say what it is, mainly because the snitches. But yeah, after that, we're going to check it out. Apparently it's like once a month. Next month they're doing the Minions, and then Zootopia, and then in May they're doing, they're doing the Little Mermaid, which I'm probably going to go to that too. But yeah, very excited. And you know, we've only got 6 weeks until Logan's here, and that's exciting. You know, we got to get a few more things for him, like a bed and a car seat and a stroller. But you know, I know we can do it. I know that we're gonna get it done. So yeah. So thank you guys. I appreciate you watching these as well. I'm sorry that I'm all over the place. I have apparently what my friend calls pregnancy brain. I didn't have with Andrew and Emma, but this little guy makes me lose my race cars more often than normal. So he was thrashing around. Now he's just kind of being still. But I think that's it. And as always, you know, I appreciate your guys' support. And if there's anything that you guys want me to touch base on or talk about, or you guys have any ideas for a new series, or, you know, you just want me to shut the hell up, I'm not going to do it. But you're, of course, more than welcome to leave comments. I don't ask people to like this video or subscribe to my channel anymore because that shit's so overplayed. Like, I'm sure people get it. If I like your channel, I'll subscribe. You don't need to tell me. So, I'm not going to tell anybody that. Either you will or you won't. Either you'll leave a comment or you won't. I just wanted to reiterate that, you know, if you have left comments, I'm sorry I haven't responded to them. I guess I need a laptop to do that. Except for the people I've already put that they can actually leave comments, because, you know, haters are gonna hate. But if you've written comments and you don't see them posted, that's because you're an asshole and, well, you don't deserve to have your comments anywhere. Not my website, not my social media, not Amazon, not on here. So, haters keep hating, because the more bitter you are about me, the more famous you kind of make me. And my supporters, I appreciate you guys, and thank you for not giving up on me. I know I disappeared for like 4 months. So thank you. I hope that you guys are enjoying these still. Other than that, as always, I really gotta come up with a new phrase.